Good afternoon. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the notification bell. And today, we got ourselves another quality check. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So, alright, let's start off by examining this Model Y. So let's look at the left light. And then let's move on to the right light. Then let's examine the hood. Let's take a look at the VIN here. So, alright, let's examine the wheel. So everything is looking good so far. Now let's look at the driver's side panel. And this one has the older console. Let's look at the door. And it's nice and flush. Let's take a look at the rear door. It's also nice and flush. Now let's look at the gap over here. And that's where we have a problem. That gap is a little bit too big for me, and it needs to be adjusted. So, that's one issue. Also, the trunk needs to be adjusted because that gap over here, you'll notice it's different than it's over here. So, definitely needs an adjustment, and I would definitely complain about that if I were to take delivery of this Model Y. So now let's look at the charger door, and it's not flush. It pokes out a little bit, so it needs a little bit of an adjustment. So moving on to this back. Nothing that I see so far so good. Even this right here is not flush right here, so it needs to be adjusted. Yeah, that gap in there looks a little bit too big for me. So this trunk over here needs to be adjusted. This panel is nice and tight, and that's exactly what we want to see. And let's move on to the back. It's nice and flush. Normally the back doors are not flush, but this one seems to not have that problem. So it's nice and flush. So besides the trunk hash issue, I definitely would accept this Model Y. Great vehicle. So on to our next vehicle. Before we look at our next vehicle, I just wanted to let you know that Oakville has just taken a huge delivery of Model Ys. Take a look at this. All these are Model Ys. Take a look at that. All soon to be delivered. These are brand new VINs. And they're sitting on this lot here, which was actually closed down. This used to be a Harley Davidson bike shop, and they're, due to COVID, they've shut down. And Tesla, which is their neighbor, has decided to purchase their parking lot and park all their vehicles there. So look at all that. Look at all those Model Ys due to take delivery. These are all just dropped off the truck, and it's a big load. So definitely looking forward to doing quality checks once these vehicles come released onto their parking lot. So let's move on to the next vehicle. So all right, looking at this Model Y soon to take delivery. Let's start off by looking at the left light, and let's move on to the right light. And let's take a look at the hood. Nothing that we seem off so far. It's looking great. These are the hubcaps, but underneath there's a nice set of good looking rims. So if you do decide to take this off, you will lose a little bit of range, but this is a lot better. It's a lot better. Definitely a lot better underneath these. So let's take a look at the VIN. So far we're looking good. Driver's side. Oh. And if you're ordering a Model Y by now, you should be getting the new console, and hopefully soon you'll be getting the new heated steering wheel. There's also an updated interior for the Model Y that's due to come out later on. Right now it's in China, where the see the wood panel extends all around the vehicle, and it looks nice. So nothing I see so far. Doors are in line. Back door needs a slight adjustment to be flush, but I just want to say that this is definitely what I want to see. Well, okay, look at this gap right here. This is the type of gap you want to see. A nice squeezed tight panel that looks almost together. Nothing that looks like out. But when we then look around over here and we look at the trunk, what do we see? A huge gap. It's like we can basically see inside the trunk what is going on. So I definitely love this gap right here, but this needs to be realigned, because I would definitely complain about that. I don't want to be having those type of gaps when I'm taking delivery of a vehicle. So let's look at the door and see if it's flush. And the door is flush. Taking a look at the rear, dual motor. Now looking at the top here, and let's look over here where we see a very common issue. And do you see it? That door is not flush. Always a right side door that I'm constantly finding this problem, and definitely needs an adjustment. So this vehicle does need some adjustments in order to get a pass and an approval. So I would ask them to fix those defects before taking delivery. Now let's move on to our third and final Model Y. So this is our third and final Model Y. And now let's take a look at the left light. Onto the hood. And then onto the right side light. And we're looking good so far. Beautiful. Now this is the VIN. Now let's look at the bit over here of the passenger side door. Looking over here to see any panel gaps, and we're looking good so far. Beautiful. That's definitely what we want to see. So let's see if the door is aligned. And the door is aligned. So this blue Model Y is one beautiful piece of build. Back door's flush, and we get a tight panel. Yes, look at that. Unbelievable. Tesla, if this is how you're producing Model Ys now, then you're headed in the right direction. Now let's look at the charger door. Charger door does need a slight adjustment to be flush, but besides that, the build is amazing. So right now, If you're thinking about ordering a Model Y, a Model 3, a Model S, or a Model X, now's the best time to do it. And if you need a referral where you and I will both get 1,500 kilometers or 1,000 miles of free supercharging credits once you fill in an order for one of these vehicles. So, that's another short video. That's all I gotta say. So, thank you and have a nice day. Hey, if you want to win a $50 Amazon gift card, all you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And the first 1,000 subscribers will be entered into a draw to win this $50 gift card.